Hello viewer, today I am going to tell you about a Python exception handling. Python provides two very important features to handle any unexpected error in your Python program and to add debugging capability in them. Exception handling. This would be covered in this tutorial. The standard exception and assertion will cover the assertion in Python. And third one is a raise exception. And raise exception word used to handle the exception. I will only name the some exception name which occur during the Python execution that are as follows, and you have to I'm giving you a list so you come to know what type of exception occur when you run the Python program. Exception stop iteration. When iteration stop then exception occur. System exit के समय exception occur होता है. Raise by the system exit function. Standard error. Base class of all inbuilt exception. Stop iteration system exit. Arithmetic error. Numeric calculation wrong होता है तब. होता overflow error when the raise the calculation exceed maximum limit. Floating point error calculation when fail, then error will occur. Zero division error. If you divide any number by zero, then it will occur. Then assertion error raised in case of failure of assert statement. Then attribute error raised in case of failure of attribute reference. EOF end of file error and import error. If you won't get a statement, then by import, then we will get the import error. Keyboard interrupt error. Control C when you use, then interrupt error will come. Lookup error. If you not find the value, then lookup error. Index error. Indexing is not found, then error will. Key error. Raise when the specific key is not found. Name error when the name of the variable identifier is not found. Unbound local error. Raise when try to access the local variable in function or method but no value has been assigned. An environmental error exception that outside the Python environment. IO error, input output error, and then syntax error, the format which is defined by the language is not used by you. Indent error, when you won't give the proper indentation, then it will occur. System error raised when the interpreter find an internal problem, but when this error is encountered, the Python interpreter does not exit. System exit raised when the Python interpreter is quit by using the system exit function. If not handled in the code, causes the interpreter to exit. Type error. Want to use the text and you are using the number, then it will give you a type error. Then value error, when you want to define the value of any argument, then it will give you a value error. Runtime error raised as generated error does not fall into any category. Not implemented error raised an abstract method that needs to implement in the inheritance class is not actually implemented. Assertion in Python. An assertion is a sanity check that you can turn on, turn off when you are done with your testing of program. The easiest way to think of assertion is like it to raise if statement, or to be a more accurate, raise if not statement. An expression is tested and if the result comes up false, an exception is raised. Assertions are carried out by the assertion statement, the newest keyword to Python introduced in version 1.5. Now the assert statement is used. Python evaluate the accompanying expression which is hopefully true if the expression is false. Python raise an assertion error exception. Assertion, the syntax of the assert is assert, expression and then argument. So I am giving you a example of Kelvin to Fahrenheit conversion of temperature. So how it will work, I will show in the Python. Assert temperature greater than equals to 0, colder than absolute 0. Return temperature minus 273 into 1.8 plus 33. This is a formula which you use for to calculating the temperature. Print Kelvin to Fahrenheit 273. Print the Kelvin to Fahrenheit 505.78. Print Kelvin to Fahrenheit -5. This is you are using to give the exception of the to raise the assert command. When the above code is executed, it produces following result 32.0451. The trackback most recent call last. Here I am calling the Kelvin to Fahrenheit function, where when it will go 505, then it will check temperature is greater than 0, yes, then it will come and return 505 minus 78 minus 273 into 1.8 plus 32, and it will give you a 451. Track back most recent call last. File test.py line 9 in. अब वो जिस लाइन पे एरर होगी उस पे मॉड्यूल पे उस लाइन को दे देगा कि यहाँ पर एरर है. Now how it will do, just see in the Python. I have made this program for you, and just run it. Alter it. This will give you a 33 and 451, and again this will give you a error because the Kelvin Fahrenheit -5, which cannot be possible. Temperature is greater than 0 should be there. Now next is here what is exception. Now I want to clear you what is exception. An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of program that disrupt the normal flow of the program instruction. In general, when Python script encounters a situation that it cannot cope with, it raises an exception. An exception is a Python object that represents an error. When Python script raises an exception, it must either handle the exception immediately, otherwise it terminate and quits. जब कोई एरर होगी तो एक्सेप्शन अकर करता है और उसको हम हैंडल करते हैं एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग से. सो हैंडलिंग एन एक्सेप्शन. If you have some suspicious code that may raise an exception, you can defend your program by placing the suspicious code in try block. After try block, include the except statement followed by the block of code which handle the problem as elegantly as possible. Here is a simple syntax try exception else block. First of all, you have to write try. You do your operation here. Then exception except exception 1. If there is exception 1, execute this block. Exception 2, then execute this block. Else, if there is no exception, then execute this block. Here are few important points about the mentioned syntax. A single try statement can have a multiple except statement. This is useful when try block contains statement that may throw different types of exception. You can also provide a generic except clause which handle any exception. After the except clause, you can include an else clause. This could be else block, else if, execute if the code is in the try block does not raise an exception. This else block is good place for code that does not need the try block protect. अगर ट्राई में एक्सेप्शन आता है और वो अकर नहीं उस समय एक्सेप्शन नहीं आता तो एल्स ब्लॉक में चेक करता है. दिस एग्जाम्पल ओपन द फाइल, राइट कंटेंट इन द फाइल एंड कम्स आउट ग्रेसफुली बिकॉज देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल. अगर नहीं प्रॉब्लम होगी तो वो रेस नहीं करेगा. द fh equals to open test file dot w. fh write this is my test file for execution handling except IO error. Print error can find file or read data. Else print written content in successfully. अगर वो फाइल में राइट नहीं करेगा तो एरर देगा, अदरवाइज कह देगा कि इट राइट सक्सेसफुली और फाइल को क्लोज कर देगा। कैसे करेगा अब इसको हम लोग देखते हैं। Now save it and run it. Handling an exception, written content in the file successfully. अगर फाइल में कायदे से लिख जाएगा तो वो लिखेगा written file successfully. Open text file. अब इसको यहाँ से हम टेक्स्ट को हटा देते हैं। अब उसको कोई एक्सटेंशन जब नहीं मिलेगा तो एरर अकर करेगी। तो कैसे करेगी देखते हैं। रिटन कंटेंट इन द फाइल, अभी तो उसको मिल गई फाइल। अगर फाइल नहीं मिलेगी तब वो एरर देगा। एरर कंटेंट फाइंड फाइल फीड डेटा, सो इट इज राइटिंग ऑन द टेस्ट फाइल। चेंज इट। Getting file. So if not get file, then it will create the problem. Can't find file or read data. So when it won't get a file, then it will give you a error. When it find the file, then it will write written content in the file successfully. Now I want to read the file. I want to read the file. Now here you write read the file. So here I open the file in read mode and read the whole line of that file and print error if there occur. Or if the file read, then it won't give the error and write written content in the file successfully. Alter FS. Now run it. This is my test file for exception handling, written content file successfully. Same thing will happen here. When you won't give the file name, you forgot to give file name, then it will give you a error. Just run it and you will get a error. FH is not defined. The error can't find file or read data. So here you will get the error because FH is not found by the file. When you write the same file, and then it will read from file and print from file. So run it. It is clear because that time I have not given there. So open it in write mode again and then in read mode. So alter Now run it and find the value. Written content successfully. This is my test file for exception handling. Written content in file successfully. उसने वापस रीड करके उसको प्रिंट कर दिया. Printed it again by reading the file in a reading mode, and then give the exception. If you won't give the file name, then it will give you a error, can't find file, read data. Again, you can write same thing. In a different way. fh equals to open demo file w, try, fh write, and then finally again you want to give the exception first. First of all you give finally and then give except IO error. Error can't find file or read data. So going to close the file, if you get the error, then it will give the file error, and so this is going to close the file. It will first of all reach into the final and want to check this condition and occur after the final, and final is the final condition, so it won't work. Next is a except clause with no exception. अगर exception नहीं है तो क्या करेंगे? This kind of try exception statement catches all the exception that occur. Using this kind of try except statement is not considered a good programming practice too, because it catches all exception but does not make the programmer identify the root cause of problem that may occur. The except clause with multiple exception. अब एक ट्राई में कई एक्सेप्शन हो सकता है, अभी हमने बताया. ट्राई फाइनली क्लॉज. अब फाइनली को पहले लिखेंगे. ब्लॉक along with the try block, the finally block is placed to put any code that must execute where the try block raise an exception or not. This syntax of try finally, ये वाला सिंटैक्स जो है वो फाइनली को एग्जीक्यूट करेगा ही करेगा, चाहे एक्सेप्शन हो या ना हो, जो अभी हमने रन करके आपको दिखाया. When exception is thrown in the try block, the execution immediately passes to the finally block. After all statement in finally block are executed, the execution is raised again and is handled in the except statement if present in the next higher layer of the try except statement. Raise an exception. And as a Python developer, you can choose to throw an exception if a condition occurs. To throw or raise an exception, use the raise keyword. I told you the third one I will teach you, a raise an exception. Raise an error and stop the program if x is lower than 0. Here I have defined x is equal to minus. If x is less than 0, raise exception. Sorry, no number below 0 is required. The raise keyword is used to raise an exception. You can define what kind of error to raise and the text to print to the user. Raise to try a type error if x is not integer. Now I want to raise the error when the type error x is equal to hello, if not type x is int. Now we are searching the type string type into int, then it will raise the exception. Type error, only integers are allowed. How it will, both example will work, just see in this program. Track back most recent call last. Line 46. रेज एक्सेप्शन, सॉरी नो नंबर बिलो 0। अब इसमें क्या हुआ, बिलो 0 नहीं हो सकता है, सॉरी नो नंबर बिलो 0। नेक्स्ट इज x इज इक्वल टू, नाउ चेंज द वेरिएबल, y कर देते हैं। अब ओनली इंटीजर्स अलाउड, सो इट विल गिव दिस एरर। पहली वाला एरर दे चुका है ना, तो वो रन नहीं कर रहा मॉड्यूल आगे, तो इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा, नो नंबर बिलो 0, उसको हॉल्ट करना पड़ेगा। तो इसको कर देते हैं, इसको रोक देंगे और now run this. Then it will raise type error, only integers are allowed, not the text. String is not allowed. The second one will give you a type error. इस तरह से हम raise भी use कर सकते हैं, except. So I have learned to teach you today try, except and final, and how to handle the exception, what are the standard exception, and how to raise the exception. So today it is all, viewers, and next I will take some another thing. So if you like it, please share and subscribe. Thank you, viewer. Please subscribe, it's and give your valuable comment. It is very necessary for me for the improvement. Thank you.